can't raise the stakes any higher than Katowice. You could try, but you would not be successful. And if you believe elite competition produces great games, then maybe you've come to the right place. Or maybe the buckling pressure causes everybody to play in extremely bland, unimaginative fashion, not unlike my oatmeal. But I have faith because we're playing on Lightshade. I didn't love this map at first, but I have warmed up to it. SOS checking for proxies before heading home to put down that gateway. Protoss has opened up with a low ground pylon. And now it's a gate and go with the Protoss scout. This is the quarterfinals. Everyone's scrapping for one of the last remaining spots in the group stages. And one of those is our Protoss player. He is ... He is SOS!
Assault de Templari.
Current world rank 26.
Our Terran player recurs in IEM sleep with beta waves. He is Dream!
You're on.
Current world rank 18.
SOS has made sure that his probe caused enough trouble that Dream had to dispatch a second SCV to neutralize him. Meanwhile, back on the Protoss ranch, SOS will put down the Cyber Core before his Nexus. Rax completes, and the Rax is going to produce a Reaper. There's an actual Reaper for the Reaper expand. That's become more and more dated. SOS puts down his Nexus and then looks to see if he can delay the CC for just a few seconds. Not really. Dream went to 415 minerals. Though that SCV ought to think about vamoosing. The Reaper's about to pop. And speaking of things that are done, how about the Orbital Command? That means we get our inaugural Mule. Truly the unheralded backbone of the Terran economy. Dream is going to send his Reapers straight out across the map. SOS starts up an Adept. He's going to need that to defend. Oh, the Reaper and the SCV do a little high five. Actually, SOS is putting down an early shield battery. That's in his main. Which is good because the Adept is actually rallied to head across the map, not to defend. The Reaper's going to slip into the main and there is nothing here. SOS starts a second Adept. Hey probes, you all look pretty unguarded. Any of you probes want a little candy? Maybe a KD8 charge? Never take candy from ghost kids. They're totally strangers. Oh, Dream is gonna leave. I guess he sees the futility with that shield battery there. Meanwhile, SOS's Adept shows up at the Terran Natural and murders a Marine to get the first blood. Somebody forgot to install video surveillance on that front door. The Adept pulls back and behind it, SOS is gonna make a Twilight Council. Oh, now there's two Adepts. The Reaper's back, but that's not gonna help things. Woohoo, it's a jumpin' lady. Adepts do not look dignified when they're bouncing off of a bomb. That completed bunker is going to stop Dream from losing any more units. But the pulled SCVs is a win for SOS. Mining delayed is resources lost. Dream's adding a Hellion and reactored Marines. Is that enough to clean this up though? SOS doesn't think so, he's just going to stand and fight here. The Marine leaves the bunker to support it, but he's going to die. No, he makes it back to the bunker with like a half a hit point. And since Dream's SCVs aren't doing anything else, they can repair that Hellion. And now the Adepts are up to 3. I like what SOS is doing here. Starport completes medevac on the way. That could change the composition. Dream is back to mining. SOS with a worker lead of 5. Protoss is getting an awful lot done with an army supply of 6. Oh, he's researching Blink. The Adepts might be a fake out. A very effective fake out. Dream though might be setting up for a drop here, and if SOS has nothing at home, it could be a game-ending drop. Presumably he's going to be making Stalkers, but he just hasn't yet. Oh, the Adepts get position over the mineral line again. Dream pulled his units up to load his medevac, and SOS took advantage. But right now, the only thing SOS is making at home is a warp prism and probes. That's not exactly stellar defense. Okay, he is making a Stalker, but is that really going to be enough? Oh, the Observer spots the drop if SOS was looking. It's simultaneous harass, people. Grab onto something, because here we go. Drop in the main, intercepted by 2 Stalkers. Dream streaks for the mineral line, then switches for the natural. This has not gone well for him. He makes it to the natural, though. Oh, the probes attack the Hellion, and they line themselves up. Dream turns it around with 9 probe kills. The SCVs are refusing to mine. They're pretty sure there's an adept there somewhere. SOS only has 2 SCV kills, but so much mining time delayed. He's gonna save his last adept and be happy with that. No, he's not. He's bringing it back, but here comes the stalkers. Oh, and an observer's leading the charge, which means this could be the old blink up into the main. The twist being that there's a warp prism to reinforce it. It's a 4-gate, 4 extra stalkers. This is old school tactics. Dream got the scout with his Hellions. He's making the necessary bunker up front. There's enough stalkers to focus down the tank. This is so dangerous. They had to nerf the blink research time just because this was so deadly. Dream is using his SCVs to buy time, but he's paying for it with more lost mining time. He can't lose that bunker. He needs another tank. SOS sneaks around to the back side of the main. There's no SCVs there, so he contents himself with killing a refinery. Now the SCVs return, but it's at the worst time. There is a tank. It's just got to find a position where it can cover the mineral line. SOS supply blocks Dream by killing that depot. He also hurts his feelings. Oh, the tank can't reach the stalkers. He's gonna get an add-on. SOS is starting to get significant damage. If it wasn't for Dream's Hellion drop, he'd already be out of this game. Terran pulls back his buildings to protect them. He's gonna make it hard for SOS to shoot them without getting splatted by that tank. And there's a second tank on the way. There's a clock on SOS's push, but he is making a robo support bay behind it. He does have a transition plan. It's easy to do when you're pulling so many more minerals and gas than your opponent. Dream's gonna get +1. The upgrade advantage is gonna help him because he is making marauders. Oh, but the warp prism has done another warp in, and now mining time is being denied at the natural. Oh, this is evil. The other stalkers are gonna take advantage of Dream's positioning. He's gonna kill the bunker before the repair. No, Dream was on the repair, but there was just too many lasers. And now the blink on the tank. A rough day at the office for Dream. SOS showing off the might of the old school blink stalker. So much more mobile. Dream is just starting stim now. But poor Dream is just getting stalked like an ex-girlfriend's Insta. Cause these aren't just stalkers. These are like paparazzi stalkers. Dream needs a restraining order. They should not legally be allowed to be on the same map as his SCVs. Certainly not without anklet bracelets. Unstim Marines versus a greater number of stalkers. That is not a good combo. Dream knows it. He taps out. Game 1 goes to SOS. And they say 4-gate blink observer isn't used in competitive play against Terran anymore. Only in Katowice. I never really stopped to think about it. But Lightshade does have one of the larger main bases in the map pool. That makes it more ideal for stalkers to get in and maneuver. The idea with this build is to abuse the Marines before they can get stim. Bonus if you can kill the tech lab and delay it even further. The build is expensive though. You need the observer and the blink, which leaves you with little to spend on defense. But what SOS did here was add in the shield battery at home, which turned out to let him kind of get away with it. Dream seemed to do everything right. He had that extra forward bunker, which is standard operating procedure. Maybe you could say it was too late. And he got the tank, but that sure didn't save him. So that makes me wonder, could this build be viable once again? Or was it just a surprise value that worked for SOS? If so, Terran's going to have to start patrolling the edges of their main again and looking for observer shadows to hit with Comstat. Anyway, just some quick Starcrafty thoughts for the weekend. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out. To continue your Starcraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your Starcraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang Starcraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.